Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Nitai Go Haribo, 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 Nitai Go Haribo, 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 Jaya Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai. Jaya Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Gaura Pimanande Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Satta Sri Simar His Divine Grace Hirabai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON DBT Founder Sharyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Giridhari Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Sri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Sri Dwarka Dham Ki Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Sri Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Sri Mayapur Chandradeva Mandir Ki Gangamayi Jumanamayi Ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Harinama Sankirtan Ki Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Radha Giridhari Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Pimanande Jai Sri Panikhati Chiradhai Festival Ki All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Takshurundritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Darati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaura Vani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyacha Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sri Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sarabhyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sarabhyaya Namaha. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yad kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinatharanam yad kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinatharanam. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. So today is for our Gaudiya Vaishnav devotees special day. Actually, we are fortunate to have many special days during the year. There are many Vaishnava festivals. And these Vaishnava festivals give us an opportunity to remember the Lord and the Lord's devotees. How many devotees here have attended the Giridhari festival in Panihati physically? Not too many hands up. Okay. So at least once a year we should mentally attend this festival. Yes, we can actually get the same benefit by focusing our mind on the wonderful pastimes connected with this festival. So, by Krishna's mercy and Srila Prabhupada's mercy, when I was in Mayapur, we used to go every year to attend the Panihati festival. Panihati is a small, well, medium-sized place, not too far away from Calcutta. And every year the devotees in Mayapur would travel with a set of Gaurnitai deities in a trunk on the train all the way from Mayapur to Calcutta. Gaurnitai got to ride on a train. And then, of course, from Calcutta, we had to go and take another train to reach this Panihati, maybe 30, 40 kilometers from Calcutta. How many of you have been to Bengal? Bengal, anywhere? Mayapur, yeah, sorry. Mayapur, it is in Bengal, yes. So Bengal actually is having a lot of water, rivers, and greenery. It's a very green place. And of course, what is wonderful about Bengal is that the holy Ganges, the Ganga, flows. Yeah, it flows in Mayapur, and then it flows in Calcutta, and then it goes down to what is called the Bay of Bengal. So this Panihati actually is on the side of the Ganga. So the wonderful pastime that took place there must have been on a similar day, hot day, like today. So you are all to be congratulated to come from your respective homes on this very hot day. I didn't realize it was this hot. Just when I came out of this morning didn't seem to be that hot, but it became very hot today, yeah. Even holding this is hot. Yeah. So we are able to remember some wonderful devotees connected actually with this festival of Giridhari festival. Of course, the first personality who is very central to this Panihati festival is Lord Nityananda Prabhu himself. As we know, Lord Chaitanya had actually ordered. He had ordered Nityananda Prabhu not to leave Bengal, but to stay there, not to go to Jagannath Puri, because Bengal is not an easy place to preach. So we know how Nityananda Prabhu is actually a very, very powerful preacher, traveling with his close associates to different parts of Bengal. So he had received the order from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly to go from town to town, village to village, and introduce the chanting of the holy name. And naturally, wherever such a great personality would go, he would attract so many people. So on this particular day, about 500 years ago, Nityananda Prabhu had traveled to Panihati and he was sitting under, because it was very hot, he was sitting under a tree on the side of the Ganga. And he was having some katha discussion with his associates. Actually, close to this Panihati was a small village where another great personality lived. His name was Raghunath. This Raghunath, when he was a young boy, had the great fortune of coming in contact with some of the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. He had the association actually of Haridas Thakur. And we can just imagine in those days, Lord Chaitanya, his leela, his pastimes were ongoing, and everyone knew about Lord Chaitanya, everyone spoke about Lord Chaitanya and remembered these wonderful pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. By this time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already left family life and taken sannyas. And on this particular day, when Nityananda Prabhu was in Panihati, Lord Chaitanya was actually in Jagannath Puri. So this Raghunath, many years ago, after coming in contact with Haridas Thakur and other devotees, he developed inside his heart a great desire to join the movement. Just like even it happens today, when people come to know about ISKCON, about Srila Prabhupada, they think about, let me join the movement. Yes, so this is a very old movement. This movement of Lord Chaitanya began 500 years ago, and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada continues today. So Raghunath actually was the only son of his parents who were quite opulent. They were big zamindars. And of course, parents are always attached to their children, especially when there's only one. So they were very pious, but at the same time very attached to their Raghunath. So they noticed that their Raghunath somehow had developed this strong attraction to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. And within his heart, he had already decided that I want to dedicate my whole life to the mission of Lord Chaitanya. So So he had already made this commitment within his heart, and whenever he had the opportunity, he would try to hear about what's happening. Where is Lord Chaitanya? What are the activities? What's happening? Actually, Raghunath, as a young man, had tried running away from home quite a few times. He had tried running away from home to go and join Lord Chaitanya. But every time he ran away from home, he was caught. So his parents were very concerned about this young boy. He was maybe in his, 16, 18, a young man, and they decided actually what to do, how to keep this boy at home. So the standard and classic formula to keep somebody at home is to get him married. So the mother decided, we have to get our son married. So they arranged for him to get married to one very pious young girl who was very, very attractive. And they were certain that by this arrangement, then their situation would be secure. Raghunath would be at home with them. Because his village was very close to Panihati, sometimes being guarded, he would be allowed to go to a few places. But he was always supervised, like a prisoner. Guards always supervising. So on this particular day, which we are celebrating today, he came to know that this great personality, the foremost and closest associate of Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu, had come to Panihati. So, having had the good association of devotees for many years, having learned about Krishna consciousness, he understood, he knew that getting the association of devotees or just having the darshan of such a great personality will be so wonderful. So he very quietly and secretly went close to that place where Nityananda Prabhu and his devotees were sitting. But he kept his distance, he didn't want to come close, he did not want anyone to know that he was there. But because his father and his father's brother, his uncle, they were both very prominent, so prominent fathers, their sons also become automatically prominent. So somebody noticed, the son of such and such has come and noticed and mentioned that to Nityananda Prabhu. So he had no choice. He was being called to go and meet Nityananda Prabhu. So very, very slowly he began approaching the place where Nityananda Prabhu was sitting. And as he approached, Nityananda Prabhu, as we all know, he is described as Avadut. Avadut means a personality who can do all kinds of unexpected things. So he called out to Raghunath, today I will punish you. Yes, you are trying to go to Jagannath Puri to see Lord Chaitanya without my permission. So today I'm giving you the danda, punishment. Yes. And what is that punishment? Today, all of my associates and all the people are here, you have to feed them chira dahi. Yes. So, within his mind, Raghunath became very pleased. It's a wonderful punishment. So because he was a son of a very rich father, he knew so many people and he had the resources also, so he began on the market close by to order great quantities of dahi and chira and other fruits. But the small market from where he got all of these ingredients very soon became depleted, didn't have any more. Because as soon as some people hear about there's going to be some nice occasion, especially distribution of prasadam, this attracts many people. So he had already ordered everything, cleaned out the whole market in Panihati. Seeing that more and more people were coming, he sent some of his assistants to neighboring villages to bring more ingredients. And this pastime, of course, is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And there he explains how as they were gathering, for those who may not have prepared a chira dahi, you have to soak the flat rice into water. So the Ganges was right there. It was easy enough. They would they would have these earthen pots, clay pots. Yeah. And so many hundreds of people actually started to prepare this flat rice with other ingredients. So in this way, actually, it is described that the number of people swelled to such a large number that it was like the whole area was covered. And as they were preparing, then they began to offer the prepared clay pots to Nityananda Prabhu, who was sitting under that tree. They prepared different types of pots, mixing different ingredients, yogurt, and of course it was mango season, so just like now still mangoes are available. Cutting up mangoes and cutting up, offering different milk sweets, making it very, very opulent. So they had these hundreds and hundreds of pots, and they started, after offering to Nityananda Prabhu, they started to distribute to all those who had come. But actually there wasn't enough sitting place for everyone to take the prasadam. So there were so many people that actually, some of them not finding any place to sit, they started sitting in the Ganges. So it was like an ocean of bodies, the whole area completely filled. There was no place for sitting, and in this way everyone was in a festive and joyous mood honoring this prasadam. And then Lord Nityananda Prabhu performed a very wonderful pastime. Already that was a wonderful pastime of the Giridhari being distributed to thousands and thousands of people. So Nityananda Prabhu sat all of his associates in 2 rows and he began serving them prasadam. And as he placed the different banana leaves on which they served the Giridhari, he reserved a special place for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he mentally called Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come from Jagannath Puri to Panihati. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came and could be seen by those fortunate souls who believed and who were devoted to him. And he began to personally feed all the devotees, and he would also feed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. So as this pastime was going on, another great personality appeared on the scene. Great personalities attract great personalities. So this other personality was actually Raghava Pandit. Raghava Pandit was also a resident not too far away. And then he had also heard that Nityananda Prabhu was in Panihati. So he had resolved that let me go to that place where Nityananda Prabhu is and I will invite him for prasadam this evening in my residence. So when he came to the scene, he saw all of these, huge crowd. Then he conveyed to Nityananda Prabhu that I was coming to actually invite you for prasadam this evening, but I see that full prasadam is being distributed right now. So Nityananda Prabhu replied, thank you very much for the invitation. Actually, after this feast, we'll go to your place for another feast. Yes. So in this way, everyone was honoring prasadam, and as they were honoring prasadam, and after those who honored prasadam, then there was a tumultuous kirtan taking place. Everyone was completely filled with ecstasy and having darshan of Nityananda Prabhu and seeing this wonderful pastime of this distribution of Giridhari festival. And everyone immersed in ecstatically chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when Lord Nityananda gave this so-called punishment to Raghunath, he told him he knew his desire to join Lord Chaitanya. So he explained, or he told Raghunath Das, that for the time being you be at home and you behave like externally an ordinary son. You help your father and take on the responsibilities expected from you. And because you have a strong desire to join Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very soon Lord Chaitanya will make a special arrangement for you. So since that day, since this event, every year devotees from all over Bengal, and of course now devotees from all over the world, come to Panihati to celebrate this wonderful festival. I remember one year, somehow, it was raining very heavily, and there was water up like 2-3 feet of water. That did not stop any devotees from going there. Still thousands of devotees went. And our devotees from Mayapur, as well as from Calcutta, they set up very nice pandal where they have a stage and they perform chanting of the holy name and pravachan. pandal is one of the most popular ones because we distribute huge quantities of Giridhari prasadam. And also because very often devotees, sannyasis and foreigners come to our pandal, and it's a special attraction. All kinds of sampradayas and apasampradayas attend the festival. One will see many different kinds of gurus with their different followers chanting all kinds of unusual mantras. All of the different 12 or 14 apasampradayas mentioned by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they can be seen on that day. But everyone is in a very happy mood, and everyone is chanting the holy name. And the practice is that before taking prasadam, one takes bath in the Ganga. Now, it's not so easy to take bath in the Ganga with 10,000 people beside you. Because everyone wants to take bath at the same time, at the same place. And the way people take bath on that day, everything is mixed up. The men and the women, the children, and everyone has to somehow get in the water, take a quick bath. Some devotees will swim a little bit in the Ganga. And then the highlight actually of the festival is when different groups who come, they all know that actually at noontime is when we bring, for example, from our ISKCON Pandal, devotees prepare maybe 108 of these pots of Giridhari. And each pot, in addition to the Giridhari and some fruits, is also decorated with nice rasgulla and gulab jamun and all kinds of sweetmeats. Yes. I don't know if we'll have all these things here today, but anyway, each devotee, they put a pot on their head, and by procession from the pandal, they try to go to that tree, which is actually very difficult to do because it's so crowded. So they all slowly in a line follow and go to that place where Nityananda Prabhu was sitting and where the first offering was made. When hundreds and hundreds of these pots are placed under the tree, then there's some devotees who are performing arati and chanting the holy name. So it is a very ecstatic atmosphere, a very joyous festival that for the last 500 years continues to attract thousands and thousands of people. So in this way, every year devotees remember this wonderful Leela pastime of Nityananda Prabhu. And taking Giridhari on that day, because it's also very hot, is very cooling to the body. Yes. And devotees, they stay till evening time, until actually devotees, they bring these, in Navadvip, they get what they call bosta, this big bag of flat rice that they bring. Yes. And so there's a group of devotees who are constantly preparing and mixing this Giridhari, and we have one of the longest lines or queues, people waiting to get prasadam. So one of the important lessons there, of course, is that Raghunath Das wanted to attain the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So from this pastime we can learn that unless we are receiving the mercy of the Vaishnavas, we cannot so easily attain the lotus feet of the Lord. And attaining the mercy of the Vaishnavas is very easily possible when we serve the Vaishnavas. So because Raghunath Das was the son of a very rich zamindar, he had the means to serve the Vaishnavas in this way by distributing huge quantities of prasadam. And of course, the serving of prasadam, preparing prasadam, distribution of prasadam remains one of the main activities and powerful ways to attract people to Krishna consciousness. So on this very auspicious day of Giridhari festival, we should pray for the mercy and the blessings of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. We should also pray for the blessings of Raghunath, who became later on Raghunath Das Goswami. He attained the full shelter of the Lord, first in Jagannath Puri, and then the Lord sent him to Vrindavan. And we can pray for the mercy of Raghava Pandit, who also received the mercy of the Lord by having him in his home for prasadam later that day. Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Jai Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki, Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Hare Krishna. Maybe you can add something for me. So it's a very long day actually for the devotees, especially in Mayapur, because they have to travel all the way, and so they have to leave early, and because the festival goes on all day till evening, they come back very late also. So I think these days they have vans. In those days we didn't have vans, so the Lord would travel the same way that devotees travel, in a very humble way. Yeah, I mean, the devotees, would not travel in AC compartment. They would travel in the regular bogies, which are crowded, which are hot, and Gornitai, they would be in a box under the seat, right? Yeah. Very merciful Gornitai. Yes. Yeah. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Giridhari Festival ki, Hare Krishna. Huh?
Just a short little before.
Yes, of course. Yes. Now, keeping in mind this ongoing festival in Panihati, and all the devotees, after honoring Prasadam, they had a very wonderful kirtan. We can have a short kirtan also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Chirabhai Charanarvita Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Manta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Samariti Pamacharya Bhagavan Krishna Prabhupada Ki Namasaraya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samarata Bhakti Vrinda Ki Harigama Sankirtana Ki Ramtarashna Bhagavatam Ki Jai Sri Panihati Chirabhai Prasabhala Ki Jai Sri Chidana Mahaprabhu Ki Gaura Pimanande All Hari Siddhi Samadhi All Hari Siddhi Samadhi All Hari Sri Sri Gauranga All Hari Sri